Hey guys, sorry, I'm slightly distracted. There we go. I'm back. How's everyone this evening? It is 5:10, so a little after 5. I'm just placing an order for a few groceries that I need. And checking a few things out. I want to see if anyone else is doing a live stream. See who we got here. Hey, we got Laradox here. Laradox, my friend, how are you? Let's bring up I'm going to bring up my desktop. Easy to talk. I can also drop some links, although as mentioned before, I don't think everyone can open the links unless you're on a desktop, as I am. I have my cell phone here too, but it's hard for me to do links on the cell phone. So, let's start out this conversation tonight. First, what do you guys want to talk about? And second, we'll start off the conversation. We're going to drop Laradox's link. So when people come in, they'll see it right off the bat. I want to make sure that our friend Laradox knows that we fully support his, we fully support Laradox, and we fully support his channel. People are offering helpful suggestions, not just on YouTube, but on how to sort of go through life on an easier level. So, Laradox, I hope you don't take anything as criticism and take it more as help. It's not judgment. It is people honestly reaching out and hoping to help you make your path a little bit easier. So with that in mind, the very first link dropped here is Laradox. Again, we support your channel and we support you, my friend. So I've been doing short videos. That reminds me. I need to make sure that I set that up correctly. So I'm going to do just a little bit of work as we talk. What I want to do is I just did a video where I've been talking about Course in Miracles. And what I mentioned here, this particular one, is a quote I came by today from the Course in Miracles, but not, I didn't read it directly in a course. I read it in a book by John Mundy, who is a wonderful author and teacher of A Course in Miracles. One thing to remember when I say teacher, I consider myself a teacher of A Course in Miracles because, as the Course says itself, we teach that which we most need to learn. So, with that in mind, you hear me talk a lot about forgiveness. You hear me talk a lot about love and kindness because that's what I most need to learn. Not that I feel like I'm lacking in those qualities. It's that I want to be totally committed to those qualities to the point where there's an old saying that when you squeeze an orange, tic-tac-toe says, "Hey, King, hello, my friend, how are you?" When you squeeze an orange with all your might, all you get is orange stuff. The stuff that's in an orange. You get orange juice, you get orange pulp, you get orange seeds, you get orange mush. Just by squeezing it. That's a great metaphor, or it might be an allegory, of life. When we are squeezed, when life puts some pressure on us, and it always will, what comes out. When I when I am immersed in my true reality of love, my true reality of kindness, my true reality of isness, um, and life squeezes me, love and kindness comes out. But only when I'm committed to removing the blocks that keep me from that realization. And that's my commitment. And here's what I read. But before I say what I read, um, Tic Tac Toe says, you're kind of cute. That's an awful nice thing to say, my friend. Not a day goes by without someone coming in um, and offering their opinion, one way or the other. How I look, who I look like, what I should do, what I shouldn't do. Um, so when someone comes in with a really kind comment, um, it's much, much appreciated. The Reverend Ronan, man, I really like that name. Says, I could really use some advice. Clippy says, hi, hello, my friend. Reverend Ronan, I'm not sure that, I'm not sure if I have advice to give. However, I'm always willing to listen. Our friend Eric Lapointe is here. Hey, maybe Eric Lapointe has some advice to give. Um, what I like to do is listen, and then maybe you and I and Eric Lapointe and Clippy and Tic Tac Toe and whoever else comes in might be able to come up with an answer. Give me 1 second, my friend. I want to be able to read that on the big screen so I don't miss anything. Reverend Ronan says, I've got to go to a wake tonight. Sorry, my friend. Whole family, 5 up the street, died of carbon monoxide poisoning while they slept. Well, should you wear a tie or open collar? I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters a little bit. Eric Point says a tie. That's what I mean about advice. Eric Point says a tie, and that's probably good advice. For me, the commitment to be there and to show you love. If you were wearing a open collar, but you were dressed presentable, obviously, understandable. Here's the funny thing: I don't own dress pants. I do own some ties because I have Jerry Garcia ties. I don't own dress pants. I have an ill-fitting dress shirt. When my father died, I didn't know what to wear. Everyone suspected that I would be wearing shorts because I've worn shorts every day of my life for about 40 years or more. Let's see. And I could have. And you know what? My father would have understood. However, that's a family situation. And actually, my cousin did show up in shorts. But it's a family situation. For you, it's outside of your immediate family. So Eric Lapointe's comment was probably the best because it has the most respect to it, I think. And the respect is to those that were lost as well as those who are grieving that loss. So, let's see. Speed Cola says, peace and love to everyone. Peace and love to you, my friend. Very nice. Red Mule says, are you Walter Wright? Well, you know what? He died at the end of Breaking Bad, didn't he? So obviously I can't be the. Maybe he was based upon me. I'm not saying he was. I'm not saying he wasn't. So I didn't watch the show, to be honest with you, because I like the opposite. Here was a very intelligent high school, probably overqualified high school chemistry teacher who had cancer. He was worried about his family. He found himself making some bad decisions and how to support them. And his life just spiraled out of control. At the same time, his ego took over and told him, hey, be a drug kingpin, kill people, do things, illegal things. And it didn't have a very happy ending, did it? Um, it's the opposite. I like those uplifting, redeeming stories where someone starts at the bottom and becomes the true person that they are. I don't want to say become a better person, because when you realize who you truly are, it can't get any better than that. Let's see. Red Mute says you're goddamn right. Um, such a strong opinion. Eric Point says, "What's up, Red? How you doing?" You get a thumbs up for Speed Cola. I don't think I've had as strong an opinion as Red has on anything in quite some time. So I just went to Red Mute's channel, and he says, "Sub to my channel. Much love to all who are reading this." So obviously, what I have to do is sub to the channel. Red Mute, my friend, you got some awesome looking cats. You got some awesome looking cats on your channel. Awesome. This might work for some people, and it might not work for others. You guys know how it goes. If you'd like to, go visit Red Mute. Support his channel. This is my first time meeting Red Mute. I like his channel. I like the message. Let's see. Flower couldn't sleep. Is it the excitement for your mom's birthday? And of course, you know you're always welcome here. But anyway, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Eric Point says, "Oh boy, Flower." Yeah, we've all been there. Those sleepless nights. They absolutely suck. You know, I went through a period of insomnia with the panic attacks and the anxiety. Um, Pretty miserable. And my father was dying of congestive heart failure. And I found myself pacing up and down the stairs all night long, trying to wear myself out. And I had to do it extremely quiet because my dad, no matter what condition he was in, had the utmost concern for what was going on with me. The night he passed away, came home, was put in hospice care, came home from the hospice. I went to bed. He had a little intercom button to press if he needed anything. And of course, he didn't press it. But he was restless, and I could hear him turning around. I could feel his agitation because he was so uncomfortable. And I came downstairs to check on him, to give him some more medicine, pain medicine. And the first thing he said, and one of the last things he ever said to me, not the last, but one of the last, was, "Why are you up? I didn't wake you, did I?" And that's my dad right there. I didn't wake you. He literally died 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later. But his last little thing was concern for me. If I could be half the person my father was in life, I will be completely happy. So, sorry guys, I took a little trip down, not to depress anyone. For me, you know what? I can't talk about my father without getting that way. But for me, it's not sad, even with a few emotional tears, because, man, I spent the last minutes with my dad, holding his hand, telling him that I loved him. How can that be sad? Let's see. Eric Point says, "Yeah, sums it up to a good man." Thank you for that, Eric. 3 things in my life that I'm happy to have occurred. Times when I was given the opportunity to step up. My mom had Alzheimer's disease. My father did not want her to be put into a home unless it came to the point where we just couldn't do it ourselves. And he said, "Can you help me?" Can you be a caregiver for your mom and help me? And of course, the answer is yes. And when Mocha went to Iraq, things were a little rocky between us. Um, she asked if I would stay and take care of my stepdaughter, who was entering her first year in high school. Um, I had been her stepfather for several years, but I didn't feel qualified to be a stepfather on my own to a teenage girl entering high school. A very confusing time, and she's a very sensitive person. But of course, the answer was yes. For one, it's Mocha asking me, and it's my stepdaughter, who is just step in name, my daughter. I say step out of respect for her father, who I like very much. Um, and the third was being the full-time caregiver for my father. 3 opportunities. And life is always going to give us those type of opportunities, and what we do matters quite a bit, if only to us. I put my head on the pillow at night and think, um, I was there for the people who loved me when they needed that love absolutely the most. Flower says it's raining or water's overflowing. Well, I hope it's raining. I'm getting some texts from Mocha because she is looking out of her back window and there is a fawn looking right in. And she did a little clip, which I will be posting. I got a couple. This is the time of year I haven't seen a fawn here. I've seen several deer. This morning I got several films of uh, some bucks actually still having velvet on their antlers. Always cool. I got a fox this morning, as I mentioned to Flower. Um, what else? Oh, I got a hawk. I hope to get an owl. It was on a bridge and it was hunting, and it was absolutely awesome. But the sun wasn't fully up yet, and I was in the deeper part of the woods, so I was unable to get it. I have to admit, you know, you think you make some spiritual progress. You think you're on the right path, and then you see your friend Eric Lapointe posting films, posting videos of coyotes, and you get this tug of jealousy. I want to see a coyote. I got them here. I've seen coyotes in other places. I've never seen one in my neighborhood. Neighbors are seeing them. Of course, I also really want a raccoon and a possum, and I know they're here too. It's been probably 20 years since I've seen a possum. It's been a couple months since I've seen a raccoon. It's almost going to get too dark as we're losing morning sunlight. Uh, Almost a minute every few days. However, for Father's Day, I got sort of binocular night vision filming, video, whatever they're called. You guys tell me. Let's see. Let me dive back in. Eric Point says, and you know those 3 things for sure. Thank you, Eric. That means a lot. I definitely made mistakes as a stepfather. I made mistakes as a caregiver. I had certain things that I'm happy to say I kept with. With my mom, it was to never to say, I just told you so. I hope this never happens to you guys. If you're ever in a position where you have to care for someone who has dementia of any type, Alzheimer's, or anything else, there's no such thing as I just told you. There's no such thing as just. There's only here, right now, in this moment, and you might have to tell someone 500 times. It doesn't matter. Tell them 500 times. Because although the memory has been distorted a bit, the feelings, the emotions are ever present. They don't change. So when you lash out, when you're impatient and you say, I just told you, how many times do I have to tell you? They still get the hurt. They just don't have the memory. And with my father, It was to always let him know, no matter what I had to do for him, that he was my father, that he was his dignity, my respect for him, undiminished. And this is just part of the job. None of it in any way. He was the father. You know what I mean? That just because I was caregiving, in no way diminished that importance. Um, Keeping that the self-regard, his self-regard, as high as possible, because he certainly did not like towards the end uh, having to experience that, because he stayed active up until, even with congestive heart failure and after a stroke and a burst gallbladder. Um, he stayed active up until like 3 months, and the heart failure hit him hard. So, yep, Eric Point says nice. And I've seen one fawn. Couldn't get the camera out fast enough. Yeah, I've had several opportunities of things like that where I saw something amazing, and the camera's coming up, and it's gone. Let's see. Therodoc says I had 454 subs. Now look what I don't know why I'm blowing up. Well, where are you? 469. 470. Awesome. Hey, maybe it's because you're putting out some really good stuff. Different stuff. It's you. Now you're getting to see Therodocs. You're not seeing things that other people have done. You're seeing what you've done. Princess Vampire is here. Says hi there, lovely people. Hello there, lovely Princess Vampire. One of my, this year, one of the best things that I endeavored to do was to start doing those YouTube shorts, to totally devote myself artistically, not just with my writing, but as what Mocha likes to say is a videographer. Speaking of which, Mocha is here. Hey Mocha, I was just talking about the fawns that you sent. Let's see. Oh, the shorts. It's become an art form, and one that I love. I have no plans of really doing editing at all. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy that type of detail. I don't edit my writing, really. If it wasn't for spell check, people would think they were reading a totally different language. But I love the creation process itself, and then sharing what hey, I'm not even the creator of these videos. I'm just the lucky person that gets to see what the universe has created, what life has presented me, and be, the right person in the right time. So it really fills me with a lot of gratitude when I get to capture something. And I try not to overlook too many. I try not to overlook things, to have an appreciation even for the little things. Doesn't mean that I film every little thing, but each day I'm open for one thing. What is nature going to show me? What unique thing? So Eric Point says, Aradox, I've been on 3 of the lives. I stopped by yesterday briefly. Greg says, okay, everyone, take it easy on my grandson. We normally do. As I mentioned at the beginning, I don't know if Laradox heard it. Laradox is in and out. I think it's selective. I think when, he comes in with some information and then he pops back out. But as I mentioned, honestly, this is the most caring place for Laradox, because people are trying to steer him in a less painful direction in his life, where other people might really hit him hard on some of these things. People here are just making great suggestions and saying, like, Goldie, let me know when you have learned this particular lesson, and I would love to support you. How much more loving can you get than that? Let's see. Princess Vampire says, hi there, Eric LaPointe, and hi there, Mocha. Princess Vampire says, Greg Dayton, was that a hint for me? Eric LaPointe says, Reroll Greg. Eric LaPointe says, I haven't texted on his live yet. I said hi yesterday. He didn't. I don't think he stayed live very long. We get a hello, Eric number 2. You know, we could say kill Eric if you want. Greg says, Princess Vampire, very interesting name. Well, you know who Princess Vampire is, right, Greg? Yep, Eric LaPointe. That's the secret out. It's Goldie Greg, if you didn't know. Princess Vampire says, yes, Medic suggested it as a joke. And Princess Vampire proves it. Met in the chat. Wow, over a year. Nice. Greg says, hey, Laradox, you have your hands full in here. Nah, I don't think so. There's not a whole lot of rules here. We have suggestions. We try to keep the conversation flowing. But everything that's ever said towards Laradox is really meant to help him. Hey, I posted his link very first thing in the chat. Greg says, hey, Goldie, you totally faked me out. Flower says, hi, Miss Mocha. Those are the greetings I'd like to see. Even though Flower got me in trouble with Mocha earlier. And Flower says, hiya, Greg. And hi to Goldie. Princess Vampire says, Greg, I find it sweet. Thank you. Adopted each other. You and Laradox. Flower is unable to sleep. She says hi to Eric LP. So, hey, Eric LaPointe, did you see that our friend Jacob did an extra 110 reps of nasal breathing burpees? Like a champ. Greg says he never had any kids. I have a stepchild. Very talented artist. If you guys want to check out, if you're on a desktop, I know Flower's not on a desktop. Flower's too young to have a desktop. Everything's on a phone these days. This is Jacob, and you can check out his reps. Let's see. Goldie says, so lovely people, in 8.5 hours from now, my daughter will be writing her mathematics exam. And she will not be alone. Sending lots of love, prayers, energy. all her way. I know you mentioned that this is the one that she's a little stressed over. Flower is on her iPhone. I knew it. Do you have a desktop in your house? Have you ever used a desktop before? The other day, someone came in and said in the live stream that they were taking their, I don't remember if it was morning or one of the afternoon live streams, they were taking their driving exam to get their license. Did I have any advice? And as I always mention when people ask for advice, I don't really have advice. I might have suggestions, but keep them as suggestions. Mainly, I don't want someone to come back and say, man, you gave me some really bad advice. But my suggestion slash rabbit ear quotes advice was that to relax. You already know how to drive. You went to school for it. You've been driving with your instructor. You've probably driven with your parents. You know exactly what to do. You know how to drive. You've studied the book. You know all the rules. So just relax and trust the fact that you know what to do. And the reason I bring that up is it's the same thing with Goldie's daughter. She's gone to school. She's learned math. She's studied. She knows 100% everything she needs to know to pass that exam. All she needs to do is relax and let that information be there, because it can't be anywhere else. So that's what I would pass on. Greg says he was never good in school, and I hated school. I had much the same, my friend. I did when I went to college, community college. I did quite well. But high school, no. Middle school, no. Grade school. I was actually thrown out of 3 schools. Not thrown out, politely asked not to return. And one was a private school where they were getting a lot of money for me going there. Princess Vampire says she's on her daughter's old tablet. She's not using anymore. Let's see, I'm on a desktop. I got my phone that I'm filming, videoing, and I'm looking at myself on the desktop. It's easier for me to look on the big screen, and I can drop links here. Flower says, oh, I'm going to sound very young, but I don't know what a desktop is. It's a big computer. It's an actual computer, not a phone or a laptop, but an actual old-fashioned computer. They still make them. Greg says it's okay, Goldie. It's no big deal. Let's see. Flower says, Eric, there's something on your shirt. There's something always on my shirt. Are you just trying to make me look down? Let's see. Up here? I think it's a hole, actually. Flower says, I was not that good in school, but I love it. Hey, you know what? Loving school is a big step. I think Flower just got me to look down. Little black dot. I think it's a hole. Right here? Yep, it's a hole in my shirt. Not surprising. Everything I own is several decades old. If Mocha is still here, she might let you know that I do not throw away clothes. Well, some I do. Not shirts, not t-shirts, especially not shirts that I have. This isn't a race shirt. But shirts that I get in races, keep them forever. Our friend T is here. Says, so everyone did some Reiki music as nap to feel better. I also had some acupuncture to do. Awesome. It worked. Been a few days not going. Weight off my mind doing that. Awesome. It has been, I got certified as a Reiki practitioner, and I didn't really pursue it that much, but I ought to brush up um, and do some Reiki for you, as well as others. You know what? I think I will do that. And then whoever might need a free Reiki session, they can just let me know. Let's see. Goldie says her daughter is good in school, always in the first 10. However, this might be pleasing to the orthodox. She made the choice and was baptized almost 2 years ago. Nice. She had a fine example to follow. Greg says he called it effing prison. And Flower says, well, not was, she is. M's. Greg says the bumblebee, tough lady. One tough lady. Flower says, first she says, hi to B. And okay, Yogi, thanks for the explanation. I have an explanation. I have an explanation for everything, even if I have to make it up. Flower says a hole. Of course, I've read that as a hole. Yeah, it's a little tiny hole in my shirt. I think, if that's the one you're talking about. I'm not surprised. If I have a cup of coffee, and I do every day, then whatever shirt that I'm wearing is going to have a stain on it. Nothing else. Just coffee. I don't know why. Laya? Is that right? Or is it Leah? Says hi. Hello, my friend. T says hi, Greg. It was a tough movement. Sorry. Flower says, yes. Yeah, her mom wants to give away my old clothes, and I want to keep them. I know where you're coming from, Flower. Let's see. T says, hi, Princess Greg. Yogi, are you a Reiki master? I am not a Reiki master. I got certified Reiki practitioner. This was probably 2019, so I think it's been about 5 years ago. I wanted to be able to offer Reiki for my father, as well as my dogs who weren't doing too well. So maybe 2018, 2019. And two, of course, whoever else needed it. I like the healing energy, but I have tons of books on Reiki back there. I still have my certification information, so I can do it anytime. Sorry, guys. It's a phone call from New Mexico. And I think I'll have to do that, just to be a little more help to you guys. T says, where's Goldie? I don't see her. She is Princess Vampire. Flower says, for some reason, it caught my eye. That's because normally I'm so impeccably dressed, looking spiffy, and any little thing, that offsets my outfit is noticeable. Of course, I made up everything that I just said right there. T says, Yogi, I had Reiki by a student, the holistic therapy diploma I did in 2020. Nice. So yeah, I'm going to dive back into that. It's a good opportunity to offer some healing. Um, Something that is probably of no interest to anyone. Uh, if Richard Runs Trails was here, he would appreciate it. Jim's James Walmsley, Jim Walmsley. He's an ultra runner, probably top 5 best ever. He just won Western States for the 4th time, I believe, um, in 14 hours, the second fastest time ever. The fastest time ever was by him. Imagine running 100 miles in 14 hours on a mountain course. I ran my first flat 100 miles, 29 hours. Um, he was on a mountain course. He was home, slept for 8 hours, woke up, had dinner, took a shower, um, and I would still be on the course. Absolutely amazing. Let's see. Princess Vampire says Goni was renamed Goni uh, Dinez was renamed to Princess Vampire, custody of UK medic. Richard's here. Richard, my friend, how are you? Richard's back. Welcome back, my friend. Always appreciate seeing new friends come back. Flower says hi to Richard. And T says, Yogi, yes, please. First client waiting. Yeah, the technique is still there. I just want to brush up on some of the nuances of it, which should only be 1-2 days. Princess Vampire says, and Goldie was renamed Walking with Goldie, courtesy of Eric McCarty. I gotta admit, I'm a little partial towards that name. Not because I said it. One, it was inspired. That I just absolutely love the thought of walking with Goldie. And I do love walking with Goldie when she does her walks. Let's see. T says, Goldie, why is it related to Transylvania? So what's new, Richard? Vampire says, Princess Vampire, yes, T. It's my only fangs. It's my only fangs. T says, Yogi, okay, found a few things for energy for physio. Awesome. Richard says, so he's thinking about what's new. I just subscribe to Richard just to keep that connection. Let's see. T says, Yogi, will you rename me B with a drum on wheels? I'm not sure if I know how to do that. I think you might have to do that on your end. If you had I'll see if I can figure it out. Mr. Poopinator is here and says, fart for me, bro. Man, one day I'm just going to surprise him completely. Today's not going to be the day. Probably not tomorrow. But one day. Mr. Poopinator, how are you? Princess Vampire says, nice tea. Richard says, thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome, my friend. I'd like to offer some support, even if it's just, a little bit of extending that courtesy of connecting with someone. I am subscribed to Mr. Poopinator, and I'm waiting it to be Mr. Poopinator doing burpees in his basement, or his living room, or his front lawn, wherever he does burpees. Poopinator says, "Good afternoon, chat of batters." I have not heard that before. Let's see. T says, suggest a name. Let me see what comes up. Princess Vampire says, you go to your settings, T, edit, and change your name. Mr. Poopinator says, I'm good, brother. Hope you are as well. I am. Thank you, my friend. Very much appreciate that. Richard says, sorry I couldn't come earlier. That's okay. I haven't been on for too long. About a little over 45 minutes. I'm going to take my little pill. Let's see. Richard said he stayed up all night, and was sleeping until 4:30 p.m. Well, what'd you do? What'd you do all night? Oh, Mr. Poopinator says he's working on it. Also, still waiting for a tutorial, so I'm not wasting my time. Burpee Reaper had mentioned that he kept asking for you in his live stream yesterday. Said he was going to give you a personal tutorial right then and there. So we were hoping you'd show up. Princess Vampire says, don't worry about it, Richard. I agree. Not a big deal. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we're going to see. Hey, Mr. Poopinator, let me know if this works. This is Max Edwards' channel, Busy Dad. One of the most precise burpee practitioners out there. One of the people that I started with. He's a great guy. He's a good friend. This is his playlist. He has tutorials, how to do burpees. Start with the 6 count. And check it out. You'll get it in no time at all. Let's see. T says, hello, Mr. Poopinator. You should be proud of me. I did 1/3 after 4 days. Use acupuncture. Proud of me. Goldie says, hi to Mr. Poopinator. Let's see. Richard says, play games, and at 5 a.m. Was watching your stream. Wow. Awesome. Very much appreciated, my friend. Not everyone makes it at 5 a.m. Sometimes they can get a little wild, the 5 a.m. ones. Mr. Poopinator says, yes, got it. And I want to make sure that I get the that makes me happy Bumblebee. You know what? Mr. Poopinator is here just making sure everyone is regular. And he says he's got it. Check it out after work. 6 counts heard. I appreciate that. Awesome. Mr. Poopinator doing burpees in his basement. Or wherever it is he does his burpees. Richard says 6 count chicken nuggets. 6 count burpees. Were you counting each motion of the burpee? Although I know probably quite a few people would be happy with the chicken nuggets. Honestly, so. How many people just eat 6 chicken nuggets? Is there anyone here that would really order 6 count chicken nuggets? Richard says, me. Nice. That's nice to know that people still have a little bit of restraint. Let's see. Richard says, I used to get 30 like every 2 days from Chick-fil-A when I was younger. Yeah, people can put away some chicken nuggets, that's for sure. Princess Vampire says, I'd be happy with them if I was eating. Everything sounds good now. Almost. Even pizza. Man, not sure I ever thought I'd hear you say that. Let's see. Tea needs protein. I hope the food is good, at least where you are. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Checking a few things out. T says, Princess V, even Pizza Hut. So, Mr. Poopinator, where is your burpee place going to be? You can find a video of people doing burpees almost anywhere. Hallways, backyard, front lawn, attics. Hey, Eric LaPointe, you still here? Have you ever watched Burpee Maddie? Richard says he's got to do something. Be right back. We'll be here. Oh, yeah, Goldie is fasting. 5-day fast. Support of her daughter. Wonderful thing to do. Our friend, Noble Scrolling Traveler, is here. Says, hello, Yogi. I hope all is well, buddy. Thank you. Noble, how are you? I tried to stop by today. I saw you on an earlier live stream. I didn't make it in time. You had already ended. However, still putting in those watch hours for you, my friend. Teddy Bear is here. Says, hello. Hello, my friend. How are you? T says, Yogi food is best hospital food. It's not zapped in microwave. Awesome. The pies are big. Catering the tray must be handmade. Man, that's awesome. So that's something for sure. Let's go on over to Noble's channel. Just for a second. And again, I think this only works if you're on a desktop, but at least it's an option. Let's see. Noble says, YouTube Master Yogi. Man, I don't know. I think you got that reversed. I think Noble is the one that's getting it right. The most entertaining live streamer. Bar none. Definitely for sure. Noble is at 8,000 52K. He's inching closer. Hey, I don't know if you heard me ask you the other day. I know you're shaving, completely clean shaven when you hit 10K. Is that eyebrows too? Let's see. T says, Princess V, why are you no longer Smurfette? Like me, we had naughty like Laradox. I don't think we ever got around to doing Princess Vampire. Let's see. Princess Vampire says it works on tablet too. Awesome. Great. Oh man, you're there. That's what, 3 days? If anyone is so inclined, if you're not subscribed to Noble, please do. Mr. Poopinator, my friend, thank you very much. Man, you're absolutely awesome. If you're not subscribed to Noble, please do. He's a great guy. A true friend. And he is 2,855 watch hours in. 145 to go. If anyone can get there in less than a week, easily, because he puts in some serious time on live streams. And here's the thing, from the moment he begins to the moment he ends, he's just given and given and given. He doesn't hold anything back. Richard is back. Welcome back, my friend. T says, Noble, are you a shirt on or shirt off burpee? Neither, or neither. He is a one-punch man workout master. And once again, Mr. Poopinator, that's very much appreciated. It's actually an honor for you to actually even consider doing such a thing, my friend. Princess Vampire says, Princess Vampire is not a Smurf. Imagine a Smurf with fangs. We don't want to do that. Let's see. Noble says, no, not his eyebrows. And let's see. Let's go to images. I don't know. I'm seeing one without eyebrows. I'm seeing one with just lines straight across. I don't know. I think he might have to do some eyebrow trimming at the very least. Princess Vampire says, no blue for this one. As I said, this is my only fangs. And we get a W from Richard for Mr. Poopinator. Joel Gaming is here. Hello, my friend. Speaking of channels and live streams, I hope this works for you guys. Go visit Chill Gamer. Honestly, guys, this is how it's done. He says, Eric LP, hello, Santa's little Forester. Let's see, what did I miss? Eric Point says, what did he miss? Did we solve any world problems? Nah, I think we probably created a few, though. Hey, he hasn't been around for much lately. Eric Lapointe, have you ever watched any of Burpee Maddie's routines? If not, I'll see if I can find a link and put them up. I think you'd enjoy them. Noble says, I was bringing in subscribers from the chat to come on my live. Awesome. So again, guys, he's close to hitting that 3,000 watch hour point. So spend some time with Noble. Go to his playlist if you don't mind. T says, PV, I can imagine a Smurf with fangs. I have a distorted imagination, Goldie. You know my warped humor. Eric Point says, Noble frat guy. Goldie says, not yet, Eric Lapointe. We'll get there. We usually save that stuff for the end, you know? We talk, we have some fun, share some gossip, and then we get into solving some world problems. Chill Gaming really made Laradox's day a couple days ago, last week, when he said he'd give him a shout out. Completely awesome. Let's see. T says, Yogi, please explain to Noble the t-shirt thing. Our friend T, is in the hospital. And as I don't want to say as a distraction, but more of a pain management tool. Going to Burpee, especially Burpee Reaper. And just getting some an endorphin rush. Some with shirts, some without shirts. I think Eric Lapointe has promised a shirtless wood splitter workout. Let's see. Eric Lapointe says, Goldie, really, why not? We're getting around to it. I'm saving it for the very end. Noble says, I might have to trim a straight line. That's what I'm expecting. Just a little, I'd say shave them off and then just take a magic marker and put a straight line across. And you can do it every day. Richard has to go. Have a great rest of your day. You too, my friend. And thanks again. I appreciate seeing you early this morning and again this evening. Let's see, where am I here? T says, Eric Lapi, as your Santa's helper, please can I ask you go on the good list? But that Laradox hasn't earned the good list. Hope he works hard and learns. I think he will. T didn't get presents last year. She was in the hospital. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Noble says, Troll Gaming, H, this is a nice channel to out to. Thank you for that, Noble. Let's see. Troll Gaming says, Veradox actually joined my live stream. Awesome. And sent some followers his way. And I sent some followers his way with a shout out. Oh man, he's been coming in a couple times this evening mentioning how his channel has blown up. So, hey, that's completely awesome. Princess Vampire says, awesome Chill Gamer. What a super nice thing to do, my friend. Another thing that I think is helpful for Laradox is he's putting out personal videos that he's making himself, instead of, videos that are already out there and then just putting them on the page. Now it's becoming a Laradox channel, which is just nice to see. Custody is here, my friend. How are you? New stream, new reason to spread love and remind people to hit the like. This is what I love about YouTube. You got people like Custody showing up just for that purpose. Just for that. I often hear, some derogatory comments on YouTube, and I'm sure it deserves some of the criticism that it gets. But at the same time, look who's here. Look at these awesome people. Look what Chill Gaming H did for our friend Laradox. Look at everyone giving each other prayers and energy when they need it. And look at our friend Custody, who just comes in on occasion, just to remind people to love each other. Barb is here. Barb, my friend, how are you? Greetings, hugs, and blessings to one and all. Our good friend Barb is here. First Vampire says, Eric Point, please put the warning sign up for it. I don't know. I think those things are better left as a surprise. Let's see. She's got Eric LP, Brian, Jacob, and Leo, and the Burpee Reaper himself. Eric Point says, I think T is boosting my subscribers to a quick 1,000. I need to get in shape for that. He's inching ever closer, guys. T says, yes, she has done it before. Sleep to help me dream. So, I don't remember if I posted this or not. This is Chill Gaming H. This is his channel. It's another, I always mention him, the gaming channels, that they were new for me. I wouldn't think I'd have a reason to visit and hang out on a gaming channel until I visited and hung out on a gaming channel. And Smitty Deuces 187, Tokyo Gold King 420, Chill Gaming H. It's just a warm, welcoming place. I don't know if I rightly even, yes, there's games being played, but it's somewhat, when you say gaming channel, I think too many people might miss out with that. So I like to tell everyone what it really is. It's just a warm, welcoming place to go and hang out with friends. And the ones who do it the best, that's what they are. They just welcome you in, and you get to hang out with them. And I don't think anyone does it better than Chill Gaming H. T says Eric LP, she's not had the energy to do more email YouTube account. It's on my to-do list. So we'll get you there to 1,000. Greg says, Barb, how are you feeling today? Oh, sorry, I missed a comment up above. Says, hey, Goldie, do you believe in vampires? Barb is doing well. For those wondering, the storm is not going to hit Barb. It's going to the coast of Texas. Again, prayers to the coast of Texas. Um, but I'm glad Barb and Wolf and the people in Louisiana are going to be safe. Goldie is in the kitchen on the phone now. Walking with Goldie. She's here. Goldie does not believe in vampires, but it's good to joke about. Let's see, Troll Gamer says, thanks, Eric and Yogi. You're welcome, my friend. Let's see, Eric Point says, Troll Gaming was a great channel. Yogi, you're right. I'm glad you made that connection, Eric. And Eric very kindly drops the link for Troll Gaming. Awesome. Thank you for that. Let's see. Well, let's go to Eric LaPointe's channel. $6.58. He's getting close, guys. Now, funny talking about vampires and if we believe them or not. Of course, people would describe energy vampires, people who literally feed off of others' energy. I think probably you run into quite a few like that on YouTube, seeking to create a negative situation, a response, a reaction, so they can feed on that energy. And of course, that's fictional too, even as it happens, because it's created and done by and for the ego. The ego doesn't really exist. Who we think we are doesn't really exist. That's really a hard thing to let go of. But when you give people like that reactions, it builds up that sense of ego identity. So it's much needed for them. And it drains you. The more attention they get, the more it drains us. The stronger they get, the weaker we get. I'm going to agree with Greg. Greg says, hey, Goldie, the best vampire movie is Lost Boys. That is a really good vampire movie. The Vampire's Kiss with Nicolas Cage, that really isn't a vampire movie, but it is about vampires, was really good. Interview with a Vampire wasn't bad. T says, Goldie is making recipes with only water on her fast. She's a very good cook and creative. I'm sure she can invent a recipe with just water. Oh yeah, you got fried water, microwave water, boiled water. T says, Greg, you like horror movies? I can't watch certain genres of film. Joe Gaming H says, I have to go back to work. So nice to see all of you guys. Stay positive. And if you're a YouTuber trying to make it, don't give up. Bye, guys. Thank you, Joe Gamer. Very much appreciate that. And I'm trying to make it. That's the goal. Or the aspiration. I actually honestly believe that our friend Noble is going to have one of those mega big channels. And all of us can say we knew him when. Greg says, Goldie, I don't watch too many movies anymore. Most of them are boring. Eric Point says, I love horror movies and comedy. So, Eric, just off the top of your head, you don't have to think too hard about it. Favorite horror movie, favorite comedy? T says, if Goldie does turn into a cannibalism by day 5, Please save the daughter. She won't be that tasty. Eric Point says, yeah, Noble is the man. He just wants to brighten people's day. Whoever comes in his chat, he's got something kind to say. He wants to make you laugh. Let's see. Goldie says, I must admit ignorance on both of the movies you mentioned. It's been a long time since I watched a vampire movie. I can't keep serious. Just the nonsense of them originated in Transylvania. I know Dracula did, or supposedly did. I wonder where the whole thing of vampires came from, or if it's like in every culture. Goldie says, well, T, I'll try to keep that in mind. I'm going to share this link again. This is our friend Jacob. You know what? I think Jacob might be one of the most sincere people on YouTube. This is just definitely someone who wants to help and put out good information, good quality reps. He just wants to inspire people. I don't think there is a insincere bone in Jacob's body. Eric Point says that's tough to decide. Yeah, my list always changes whenever anyone asks me about stuff. You can combine the two, comedy and horror. The American Werewolf in London. Do you guys remember that? Goldie says, I have Count Dracula in English. My city is named in the book. Was Jaws... sorry. Its German name, by the way, is described as Castle and Nowhere near Braun Castle. You know, I never actually read the book. I never read Mary Shelby's Frankenstein either. He says, Greg, here's a funny. It was a family movie afternoon, and the movie was Jaws. I was 12 years old. I was arachnophobic. I wasn't allowed to leave the room. I felt safer on the sofa where spiders lived in. I saw it in the movie theater. My dad took us, and that was the summer we actually went to Connecticut to spend some time with his sister, my aunt, and I think we took a side trip. We went to the Long Island Sound, and I was not going to go in the water. So I think that little plan backfired. Then watching Jaws. I think I'd be safer on top of the sofa. The Point says he remembers that. That was a really good movie because it combined, humor, and at the time, the special effects were state of the art. Goldie says, actually, it's further from Brum Castle than my city is. Let's see. I need to look up Brown Castle. T says, my parents suffered every night for 3 weeks. Uh, with me screaming so loud and nightmares the neighbor heard. Yeah, that was another movie at the time, great special effects. If you see it now, not so much. T says, guess you call it a payback. Eric Point says, I love Freddy the Nightmare on Elm Street because it messes with your sleep. So that hit home with me. Man, my stepdaughter absolutely loves Nightmare on Elm Street. She also she loves all that stuff. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. T says, my parents sat on sofa. I was to lie on floor with beanbag. Barb says, give me a good old Western or a Dino movie. I'm with you on Westerns. I grew up loving Westerns. From Shane to, my favorite, maybe even more than John Wayne, maybe. Clint Walker. And I was a big Clint Eastwood fan. So I agree with you with that. So I think in about 5 minutes, I'm going to wrap things up early. I need just a little bit of extra sleep. And as I don't sleep in, it's easier to go to bed just a few minutes earlier. I got a few things I want to read as well. Want a big thanks to our friend Mr. Poopinator. Barb says, my favorites are the Cowboys and Horse Soldiers from John Wayne. I think I mentioned before how much I saw it in the movie theater, believe it or not. I was 4 years old. We went to a drive-in back when they had them. John Wayne, True Grit, Rooster Cogburn, reins in his mouth, rifle in one hand, 6-shooter in the other. They actually did a remake with Jeff Bridges, and it was excellent. Who would think Jeff Bridges could step in for John Wayne? But he did an excellent job. Let's see. T says, Barb, Land Before Time is a good Dino movie. Barb says, no real dinos like Jurassic World. I saw the first one. I saw Jurassic Park. I didn't see the other ones. Jurassic Park was an intense movie. So I've only seen clips of them. The remakes of the Planet of the Apes movies. Let's see. T says, Barb, can I ask you a favor? Take my Smurf outfit away on your channel. Only Smurf here, as I need links to Hunky Burpee channels. Man, there's a lot more that we haven't touched base on. It's been a while since some of them have made their way here. Every so often they pop in just to say hi, touch base. When they do, I will make sure that we drop their link for our friend Barb. I'm sorry, for our friend T. Second time I made that mistake. Barb has seen all of them many times. And of course, we have our friend, the young The Godzilla, who, guess what movies he likes? You'll never guess. Oh, hey, Eric Lapointe. I forgot. I had mentioned, see if I can find it. Burpee Maddie. I'm going to drop a couple links real quick. Hey, Eric, have you visited Still in the Game? Tony Hand. Tony might be the fastest burpee practitioner out there. He's actually a year older than me. Absolutely amazing to watch. I don't know if I've seen anyone faster than him and still maintain perfect form. That's his link. T says, Eric L., maybe when you're older than 12 years. Eric Point says, I know all the movies too, like as a kid, because my mom liked them also. I watched them all while you were listening with the other day. Awesome. Let's see. Boyan Dandry? Boyanum Dandry? I apologize. I got that wrong. Says, yo, Joe Bidit. What's up, my man? I don't actually know what that means. But you know what? Not much is up. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. T says, prayers, we have a new resident. Hope she's quiet. I hope so. Corey Johnson is here. This guy is the coolest. Glad I stumbled upon his channel not long ago. Thank you, Corey. I appreciate that. Leo said so. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing great. So, Yogi, you are a goat. Send some knowledge my way, brother. Hey, before I do, did you check out our friend Jacob and his 110 nasal breathing burpees? His second for the day. He got inspired. Leo said so, said, hey, try doing some nasal breathing. Here's two things. That's the respect that Leo has. When Leo says, hey, try this, Jacob didn't wait. He didn't hesitate. His second session, and you know the work that he puts in. So a second session from Jacob is pretty awesome. And he stepped right up. Man, he did great. Eric, I got one more channel that I'm going to drop. These guys haven't been around for a little bit. But they're old school. They've been in the game for a long time. This is Burpee Maddie. Burpee Maddie is a mad scientist in the burpee world. His routines are legendary. Most of them are fairly short, under 20 minutes, and they're killer. You spend a lot of time on the floor, a lot of time doing pumps. Leo says, I'm going to go check him out. That's crazy. Way to go, Jacob. Hey, Leo, that's the type of inspiration you inspire. I think you could just as easily, Leo said so, could easily be Leo shows up. Because you show up every day, you put the work in, and then when you make a suggestion like that, people are all in. That's the power of showing up, guys. That's the quote. I did that short little video before I did a live stream where I talked about you cannot be totally committed sometimes. And what a big, big statement that is. You cannot be totally committed sometimes. And that sums up Leo. Totally committed. Not sometimes, all the time. If you're totally committed, you step beyond time. It means that you're not working on that time frame of regular people. You're working on that infinite time frame. You're working on beyond the concept of time. Totally committed means time means nothing. Showing up means everything. So my recent commitment for me has been the absolute practice of A Course in Miracles, meaning that I surrender and then I forgive and I forgive. And when I don't think I can anymore, I forgive again. That my commitment is to my peace of mind. And my peace of mind is only found by seeing past the ego. T says, Santa's Little Forester, who you sub to? Um, an old friend, Burpee Maddie, and up above, Tony Han. Two great burpee guys. If you can, I don't know if you can click on their link or not. I think you'd like them both. They both do. They both do burpees shirtless. Eric Point says, neither one have put out a video in about a month or so. They're still working out. They're still putting the reps in. But hopefully soon. She's going to be right back while she hunts for eye candy as I'm on tablet and can only do one page. All right, so when T comes back, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. We had some friends stop in, so, you know, people stop in, you got to stay at least for a few minutes to say hi. Eric Point says, another great live. Thank you, Eric. Once again, live stream is only as good as the people who show up. And I got to admit, through no, nothing but luck on my end, I got some really good people who show up. So let's see. All right. I'm about to say goodnight. What Miss Pupinator's got it right. It says almost bedtime, buddy. It is. Very close. And I'm hoping for just a little bit of an earlier night. Mr. Pupinator, let me know how that, if those tutorials work. And I'm looking forward to seeing you jump in. Man, changes happen quick when you commit to them. I'm going to go back again to that statement that I made. You cannot be totally committed sometimes. So, you know what, Mr. Pupinator, if you make a vow, 5 reps a day, and then soon you'll be doing 10 reps a day, and then 11 reps, and it'll just build up. You just commit to it. Commit to 1 rep. Goldie says, T, I boiled a lot of veggies. 1 pot with marrow bones, 1 pot with chicken. Guess who ate the chicken? Kija. I like that name. Her daughter's cat. Miss Pupinator says, will do, my friend. And thank you again, my friend. I appreciate that. So Goldie is drinking them both. Eric Point says, Mr. Pupinator, the Reaper was talking about you on his live. I mentioned that. To quote Burpee Reaper. He said, "Hey, Eric, the poop guy. Where's the poop guy? Is the poop guy showing up?" Let's see. Mr. Poopinator says commitment has always been an issue. Um, it's tough for a lot of people, but that's the great thing about burpees. You don't gotta go. You don't have to go to a gym. You got the floor. It's all you need. All you need. Make sure you warm up. Just loosen up the shoulders, loosen up the back, loosen up the legs. Get the wrists. Do some wrist twirls. Got to be something better than a twirl, or call it a twirl. And but definitely warm up the wrist a bit, and then just hit the floor. A couple each day, and you'll start feeling good. Mr. Poopinator says, "What's not to talk about?" Eric Lapointe. This is true. The man's a legend. Luke says, "Shout out to Gravity and the almighty floor." Exactly. Gravity and the floor is the only gym you need. Check out where Eric Lapointe did his last burpees. In a desolate wasteland. Looks like it might have been on a far distant planet. Post-apocalypse. Seriously, check it out. It's a great video. Miss Poopinator says, "I'm going to do 10 reps before I get to bed. Get your rest, Yogi." I appreciate that. And with that, I am going to go to bed. Much appreciated, guys. Much appreciate the 19 likes. Thanks, guys. And I'm going to see everyone tomorrow. I'll be here at 5 a.m. doing the thing. Luke, I appreciate you stopping by. Eric Point says, "Nice." Hey, Mr. Poopinator, let us know how everything goes. And T is back. T, I'm calling it a night. I will see you and talk to you tomorrow. I got my coursework up to review my Reiki. So we'll see. It'll all come back. T is doing some bed exercises for physio. Hey, keep me posted on how that goes. Luke says, "Going to check out that vid." Eric, it's a really good one. You'll like it. And guys, I'm going to see everyone later. Take care. Have a good night.